Hi, my name is Cindy Blatt. I'm 51 years old and I grew up most of my life in Cherry Hill. I went to Rutgers University. I graduated there with a BA in accounting, and from there on, it was quite easy to get a job. It took a matter of weeks. I had my first job at General Telephone Electronics. I was there a few years, and then I got married and pregnant and did that end of my life. Then, when I went back into the market again, I had no problem again getting a job. I was able to get a job within a few weeks. All I had to do was read the newspaper, look for the job openings, applied, and got the job. I was there for quite a while. That was over Cooper Hospital. That's where I had met Gail, my friend Gail, and I worked there for a while. And then I did get laid off years after that. But I never ever had a problem getting my next job. All I would do is look in the newspaper, see the one ad, apply for the job, go for the interview, and I received the job. So this time around, it was quite different. For the past 13 years, I worked for Multiple Sclerosis Association. I was their senior accountant there. Times were tough, I know, and the budget was being cut, and their bottom line was getting smaller and smaller. The year before I was laid off, they actually did a group of cuts within our company. Then, a few months ago, or actually, it's going on a year at this point, my boss and the president walked into my office, and I knew from then on, and that was the end of that. They were very sweet. They had me stay on, work at the company a few months. I got a severance package. They said whatever I needed, they were available. If I needed references, whatever they could do to help me. So they were very accommodating that way. I didn't think too much of it. I mean, I was upset, came home, and told everybody what the situation was. I went down the shore a few weeks, or actually it was a week, and stayed with my folks. They live near the water, so I was able to relax down the shore there with them. And then I came back and I figured, okay, I'll start job searching. So I went online and I started going through the job boards and applying to jobs, and it wasn't so easy this time around. I didn't hear anything. No matter how many resumes I would send out, it was still the same, no response. It was becoming quite frustrating.
Hi, my name is Gail Fine. I am 53 years old. I grew up in Philadelphia. I currently live in Voorhees, New Jersey, where I have lived for over 20 years. I have an associate's degree in medical laboratory technology, where I worked probably for about 4 or 5 years in a Philadelphia hospital blood bank. And after a few years, I realized that if I wanted to get anywhere in this field, I needed to go back to school and further my education. But I didn't really love what I was doing enough to make me want to do that, so I decided maybe I'll look into some kind of a career change. I had worked with somebody in the blood bank. She was an office manager. She left the hospital and worked for a big marketing company in Philadelphia. We kept in touch, and just one day over lunch, told her that I was looking to change, asked her if she had any positions in her company, never really thinking she would. She said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. She knew me well, and she knew that I was a hard worker, even though this was a totally different field for me. She said, come on in and spend a day and shadow the person who's leaving, and if you like the job, she basically said, the job's yours. So that's exactly what happened. I went in, did it for a day, and I got the job. She actually told me, it was kind of like bookkeeping, and then if you can add and subtract, you could do this job. So I'm thinking, yeah, I could do that. So I started the job there. It turned out to be much more than adding and subtracting. I went back to school just for a couple courses. I took a basic accounting course and a marketing course. Stayed there for several years, really liked it. And then I relocated after I got married. Didn't have the faintest idea what kind of job I was going to get. Saw something in the paper to manage a building, and everything it said in the newspaper was like running a household. Knew I could do that, so I applied for the job, and I got it. It was a fabulous job. I loved every minute of it. Relocated again a couple years later, lucky enough to find a job basically doing the same thing. A new medical office building was built with Cooper Hospital, and went in and got that job. That is where Cindy and I met, at Cooper Hospital. Stayed there until I decided to start a family. After that, I just worked many different types of offices, basically part-time. About 9, 10 years ago, I got a job in a soccer retail store as the office manager and team sales rep. I was there for 9 years. I really loved it. It was perfect hours, perfect distance, great people. Went to work in jeans every day. It was great. I did see that things were starting to change in the retail business. He had let several full-time employees go over the last year or two I was there, and I ended up replacing them. He never hired anybody. So I took on a lot more work, and things started to get slow. I thought maybe, he was going to let me go. Didn't expect it when he did it. He just came in and said, had a look on his face and said, "Gail, we need to talk." And he just said he thought very long and hard and kept going over the numbers over and over again, but that they just couldn't keep me. I wasn't shocked. I knew he had to do what he had to do. I had a great boss. We had a great relationship with him and his entire family. Went home and I found myself sad more than anything else, sad that I didn't have my routine anymore. I didn't work with the great people that I met. But at that time, I decided I was going to keep my routine, wake up every day, 6 a.m. like I always did, and get started with the job search, which is what I did for a long time. It was not very productive, being online all the time. I really didn't hear from anybody, to be honest with you, and I kept sending out resumes. Cindy then became unemployed. We just were working out one day in the gym, and it was a beautiful day. We decided to take a walk in the local park near us. We just started to talk. We started to say, what can we do? This is getting frustrating. This is not going well. And Cindy said, there's got to be something we can do to try to earn some money and keep ourselves busy. So I said, yeah, I've heard that, when you're trying something new, you need to do something you know something about and that you're passionate about. And I jokingly said, well, I know what I know. I know about being 50 and unemployed. And Cindy then said, oh.
I thought it was a great idea. I thought we could do this. We can come up with a website. There's so many people out there that are unemployed, and we can make a helpful website for people, women, especially women, because that's what we know, that are unemployed. And we created UnemployedWoman.com. We started to go out into the community and look for all kinds of free lectures and seminars. How do you write a resume? How do you interview? Because the whole times have changed. 20 years ago, we didn't even have the computers. So we had to learn how to do all this. There was a right way of doing it. They had keywords and resumes we didn't know anything about. The resumes are now scanned by computers. In the old days, they were just looked over by the bosses. We took wellness and health classes free that were by the hospital. Doctors would lecture in their specialties, and we went to learn all about that. And we started blogging and writing and giving information. And it's become very productive and it's very enjoyable. And that's pretty much the motto of our website. We want everybody to stay active and have another life, because if you're just spending 8 hours a day on the job boards, that becomes very depressing and extremely unproductive. So that's where we are with that right now.
And we are very passionate about our website. We love sharing everything we learn with other people and making them realize that there is so much out there that they should take advantage of in their downtime while they're looking for a job. We are both still looking for jobs, but in our downtime, we are working very hard on our website, and we're constantly learning. And what I think the thing that we've learned more than anything and has been the best experience for us is networking. We have networked all over the place.
Absolutely. Women's group, 50 plus women in transition. We found a state group over in our local community that has wonderful, wonderful people in it, actually. It's called the Professional Service Group. It's pretty much mostly people 50 plus that are out of work, that are networking together, that are getting information as well. It's been a wonderful, wonderful learning experience. We still haven't found a job. We're still actively looking. It's still a very difficult time. I think that the demographics of people over 50 is having the hardest time. That's where the strongest layoffs have been occurring. The employers seem to be able to get everybody fresh out of college and a third of the salary to train them in their company. So it's pretty much been very difficult for our age group, and I believe that's the reason why.
And we will continue to look, and at the same time we will work very hard, and we will not stop networking, and we will stay as positive as we can. We've been doing that. That's what kept us going, being positive, have a great attitude, networking, and keeping yourself productive.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.